Call today for your free consultation. 800-865-1168. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-865-1168. That's 800-865-1168.
Brought to you in part by Kohl's, and shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com today.
SiriusXM Triumph. Your life.
This is Dr. Laura. If you want some no-nonsense advice, call me.
Your future.
Dave Ramsey here will give you the proven strategies for your life, your money,
your point of view.
It's me, Megan Kelly. Smart, in-depth, fun, sometimes provocative conversations on this show. I'm not going to hold back.
Plus, inspiring views with Glenn Beck. And daily bombshells on crime stories with Nancy Grace. To hear SiriusXM Triumph, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or go to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
Hey everybody, I'm Andy Cohen. Hear me and my awesome lineup on Radio Andy. Andy Cohen Live.
Gail King in the house.
Jeff Lewis Live.
It's We Tinks. The Sisters Live.
Sandyland.
The
Jess Cagle Show.
Make It Nice.
Reparations.
From pop culture, music to show-stopping moments.
Kelly Ripa.
Ed Sheeran. Jennifer Lopez.
Lil Nas X. Jerry Halliwell Warner. I want you to get on the Spice Girl hologram thing.
I'll marinate on it and circle back. Only on Radio Andy. SiriusXM 102. Or listen anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Visit www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly and activate your radio. If you haven't subscribed to SiriusXM yet, you're missing out on over 140 channels of sports, news, talk, and entertainment, plus commercial-free music. Get play-by-play from your teams, your favorite music, commercial-free, and personalities like Howard Stern. No matter where you live, unlock it all now. Activate your radio by visiting www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly or call 844-711-8800 now.
SiriusXM Video lets you watch your favorite SiriusXM shows on the SiriusXM app. Groundbreaking interviews, amazing in-show moments, behind-the-scenes footage, live performances, all come to life in a way you only imagined before. Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artists you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
There you go now.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, I see. There you go now.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, I see.
If you've been thinking about buying a home, you need to be in the zone, the home buying zone. You need a game plan to win in this great real estate market. The Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage has all your bases covered. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, purchasing your dream home, refinancing, consolidating debt, or even considering a reverse mortgage, contact the Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage today. They have the lowest closing costs, and they'll close your loan on time, guaranteed, or they'll pay your first mortgage payment. And they even have a 3.5% purchase down payment grant that can get you into a home with little money out of your pocket. It doesn't get more clutch than that, folks. Score big on the biggest purchase of your life. Call Equity Zone Mortgage today at 1-800-772-8624. That's 1-800-772-8624. Or apply online at equityzonemortgage.com and tell them Big C sent you, as heard on the Big C Sports Podcast. License number 018148688.
Access pass backstage at rehearsals.
All the way through the red carpet and 57th CMA Awards simulcast.
Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Featuring performances by Chris Stapleton,
Lainey Wilson,
and Jelly Roll.
CMA Awards Radio. Exclusively on the highway at Channel 56.
And the SiriusXM app.
Newest research, the latest prescriptions, vaccines, and treatments, and how to get the care you need for yourself and for your family. From the heart of the NYU Langone Medical Center in New York City, SiriusXM's Doctor Radio has the world's top doctors on call for you, with specialists in everything from cardiology, oncology, public health, and men's and women's health, to psychology, pediatrics, allergies, nutrition, the ER, and more. With no waiting rooms, no referrals, and no copays. Doctor Radio, SiriusXM Channel 110.
To hear Dr. Radio, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or go to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
Rondo de Puertes, bonjour, vidi vidi vici. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe. For me and people who love the universe, that would include the Associated Press and CBS News. Give that some praise. I want to say what a beautiful November the 7th in 2023. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. When you go by and test drive yours, tell them to sit you where the good Lord splits you. It's all the driving the fleet of Cadillac cars all across the universe. I want to tell you, on a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Shut up! 3 in the morning. You know, when they said, is it daylight saving time? Some people said turn the clocks back, but they didn't say how far back. The most important thing, you get the AM and the PM correct. Get the AM and the PM correct. Get that to please. Really do appreciate that. You can follow Big C Sports Podcast on 29 podcast applications, on Google, Alexa, Spotify, Speaker Podcast, Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, Good Podcast, TuneIn Podcast, iHeartRadio Podcast, Castbox Podcast, Deezer Podcast, Podcast Addict, Podstation. You can also follow Big C Sports Podcast on GeoSavan out of London, England, as well as India and Africa. You can find us on Podtail, YouTube, Hubhopper, Stitcher Podcast, Radio Line, Repod Podcast, Luminary Podcast, Listen Notes, Podcast Wise, Podbang, Verbal Podcast, Podcast Prodigy, Podcast Republic, and there's one that used to skip me but now doesn't, is allfees.ai. Give that some praise. And we're about to take it over. There's 2 more platforms that I'm not ready to really mention yet, so I'll table that conversation if that makes sense to you. But what I won't table is our Veterans Crisis Hotline. They really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. You know, anybody going through issues, 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And when you do, I want you to give us some praise, because we all need somebody to lean on. I know we all need somebody to lean on. And what did Teddy Pendergrass say? He said it's so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back. We want the real Teddy. I can't have the real Teddy. I'm doing the best I can. Big C's Teddy. How about Big C? Let Big C be your Teddy. It's hard to, when you sing after somebody that's been so great and his voice is recognized all over the universe. In fact, Teddy sings so good, people even know when Big C's trying to pull out his Teddy. It's all fair level war. I want to tell you can also follow Big C Sports, because, again, I want to thank CBS News, not necessarily CBS Sports, but CBS News for writing an article or publishing an article on Big C Sports Podcast that talked about reparations. You got to give that some praise. They didn't do it for nobody else. I don't think so anyway. If they did, I have to find out. You can Google it, though. I want to thank the Associated Press, Janie Hart. She did an article on Big C Sports, too. I'll get into that. But I want to say I always produce the show. I always direct the topic. I broadcast all the shows. I do all the sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. We could all use more laughter. I know I could use more laughter. And then the commercials are done. My show, unlike other shows that have an hour show, they'll have maybe 2 or 3 pauses. They'll run 1 or 2 commercials. Mine all go up front. I just keep going and going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny. And I'm telling you, the stats provided, I do the stats. The storytelling, I do the storytelling. I even do the play-by-play. I'm telling you, up to the line of scrimmage, 4 wideouts, 5-man front by the Packers, and the snap goes to, what's this good old boy from nobody wanted him. His name is from, I just screwed it up. I screwed it up. I was trying to swallow some chocolate, I was trying to solve it, but Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears, he throws downfield, the ball is intercepted. How about that? I guess you should eat with a mouth full of chocolate. I screwed it up. I want to do it again. Up to the line of scrimmage. The Chiefs have scored wide out. 5-man front by the Raiders. Touchdown. Patrick Mahomes take the snap. He's rolling back. Drops to his right. He's throwing downfield. The ball is intercepted. Intercepted by the Raiders. Patrick Mahomes has a good move back. Oh, friend number one. Okay, I get that better without the chocolate in my arm. But I upload every show. It goes up to 29 multiple podcast platforms out of New York City. New York City! Yeah, New York City. And I'm in Dimdale Hills, California, so I really do appreciate doing it from Dimdale Hills in California. And then number 10, I never missed a show. Just creating Big C Sports with the crew back at Salem Media back in, I think, 2015. And I want to give that some praise. All fair in love and war. And then I want to say something also that really is important to me. I want to say thank you to Xfinity Comcast TV and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, when God said, reparations now, reparations forever. And then God said, let there be light. And then there was light, if that makes sense to you. I have so much to talk about today because sometimes my eyes have been open, but I'm telling you, Big C Sports, I want to become a household name. In fact, I am a household name. I've had people calling from Africa. From Africa! Yeah, Africa, get that some praise. Mr. Mwendo, he is also running for the Democratic Republic of Congo. Did an interview with Big C Sports just a couple of weeks ago, and he's coming to Los Angeles. They have the elections, I believe, December 20th. I'll be talking to him again before that happens on Big C Sports podcast. And I want to also thank August Wesley, the Olympic coach for Cape Verde, with their wrestling team. Really do appreciate him, as well as many other athletes that I've talked to over the years. But also, my goal is not just sports. I know the economy is going through a lot of issues for a lot of people. I sold 2 cans today so I could get some gas. Is it 2 cans? Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing when you say, I'm just trying to top off. You want 37 cents on pump 3? I said, yeah, 37 cents. You want 37 cents on pump 3? I said, yeah. I'm just trying to top off. Give topping off some praise. They looked at me like I was crazy. I was in the bank today and the line was so long. The line was so long, and the lady touched me on my... I was next in line. It took like 20 minutes to get to the line. And I was next in line, and this lady, she just finished her transaction, and then she was having a conversation about her grandkids and how she doesn't know how she's going to afford the Christmas for the grandkids. She has 5 grandchildren, and she's trying to buy gifts for all of them, and their prices are so high. And there's like 20 people in line, and I'm getting ready to step up because I think she's leaving, and I was like a horse trying to get out of the stable. And a lady, like probably 75-year-old lady, she grabbed me. She said, just hold on, sir. Just be a little bit more patient. I said, patient? Baby crap, patient? What I'm trying to do is try to get reparations. I screwed that one up too. I said, patience is like baby crap to what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my reparations. It doesn't, not everybody thinks that's funny. Tired of being patient. Anyway, I want to tell you what I really do love with Big C Sports. Give that some praise. My comedy is off today because that chocolate sticks to my tongue and it doesn't roll off the way it normally does. Give chocolate on the tongue some praise. I said give it praise. If you don't have chocolate on your tongue, if you're not living right, if that makes sense to you. Everybody rise and shine. I told you I wanted to pay homage to the Associated Press, Jamie Hard, for doing an article on Big C Sports. It was published March 29th, 2023. And I'm hoping that more people will start talking about reparations for the descendants of child slavery. Also, CBS News, they acknowledge Big C Sports on reparations. Give that some praise. I'm telling you, it's not that far from now where other men and women will start doing the same thing, and they'll realize it's a good thing to do, especially when you love where you came from. If you know where you came from, maybe you respect your root a little better. If that makes sense to you. I want to tell you, before I get into some sports, and I'm going to talk about some well-known athletes. Nobody has to do anything, but I'm just calling. It's a clarion call, and I want to do it no matter what people do. I want to make sure that people know this stuff. And you can Google Survivors Today Act of 2017. It's called the Justice for Uncompensated Survivors Today Act of 2017. It's United States legislation that requires the State Department to report to Congress on steps that 47 countries in Europe have taken to compensate Holocaust survivors and their heirs for assets seized by Nazi Germany. And we give that praise. We give that praise. Nothing wrong with giving that praise. And now, maybe coming across the finish line last is the California Reparations Task Force. Now it's time for black Americans to get some reparations. We've done it for our Jewish brethren, and I want to give praise to the California Reparations Task Force because I'm the only sports show in the universe that will do it. I'm going to bring up some things that you may or may not agree with, but that's okay. That's what love. That's all fair, love, and war. I want to thank the California Reparations Task Force. Camila Moore, the chair, she's brilliant, an attorney that specializes in reparative justice. Dr. Amos C. Brown, the vice chair, he's brilliant. I'm going to give him praise. I want to thank the #1 senator in the United States, California Senator Stephen Bradford. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. He's also the author of Name, Image, and Likeness, NIL, that helps every college athlete get paid. But I can't find college athletes that get the money that thank him because he's also involved. He's the one that championed the Ebony Alert that helps when young black kids go missing. We've always had the Amber Alert. When a white child goes missing, they'll plaster that kid all over television nationwide. See the shining sea. They didn't do it for black kids. They say, oh, it's probably a runaway. But Senator Bradford, he's the one that got the Ebony Alert passed. You got to give that some praise. You know what he's also working on? You want to know what he's also working on? Reparations. Reparations now. Reparations forever. I love giving him praise. Such a brilliant man. I also want to give some praise to Dr. Cheryl Gross. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to attorney Lisa Holder. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, professor at California Berkeley. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. I also want to thank attorney Donald K. Tamaki, part of the California Reparations Task Force. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. And as a Japanese American, his family was interned in internment camp, and they got reparations. So he understands why he says, reparations now, reparations forever. No one can tell him to shut up. Because he got reparations, and he talked about it at a task force. Rob Bunker, the part of the California Attorney General, he also was talking about reparations, how he approves of it. So everybody has their own thoughts about it. I want to thank This Is CNN, The Source with Caitlin Collins, proud sponsors of Big C Sports, weeknights, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on This Is CNN, proud sponsors of Big C Sports. Get that praise. I want to say thank you to PNC Private Bank, proud sponsors of Big C Sports. Give that some praise. I want to also give some things to Double O. She's part of the National Payout Committee on the National Black Wall Street Project. I want to give her praise. She sent me an article on Executive Order 13985, further advancing racial equity and support for the underserved communities through the federal government. That's called the White House. I love giving that praise. We got to do that. Senator Marco Rubio, Rick Scott, they're dealing with Congress now to make sure that they reintroduce a bill to restore Holocaust survivors' rights, and we give that praise. We give it praise. Nothing wrong with that. Reparations. I want to thank Georgetown. I'm the only sports show in the universe that wants to give Georgetown praise because they already pledged over $1 billion in reparations to descendants of chattel slavery to 272 families that helped build Georgetown because their children were sold in order to pay debts for Georgetown. None of our other brethren talk about it. Not ESPN, not CBS, not Fox Sports, not NBC Sports. Oh, they'll tell you, touchdown, home run, three-point play. Old man Willie, he's going all the way. And ironically, Georgetown is in Washington, D.C. How did Georgetown beat the White House to reparations? I said, how did Georgetown beat the White House to reparations? In the same city. Oh, believe it, they're going to come ask you for your vote because the election's about a year away now. They'll be asking you for your vote. Mark my words. They'll be coming around your communities, the black community, going into the black churches, telling you how if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And we're going to make sure that we do everything we can for liberty and justice for all. But one thing that's absent is what they're doing for our Jewish brethren is saying reparations now, reparations forever. And Senator Marco Rubio knows what I'm talking about, as well as Rick Scott, Senator Rick Scott. I want to thank Double O, part of the National Payout Committee for the National Black Wall Street Project. She sent me another article from the United Nations. You know the United Nations? United Nations says that strong leadership and political will are crucial to ensure reparatory justice for descendants of chattel slavery. Give that some praise! No one says we shouldn't do that. I want to thank T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network, proud sponsors of Big C Sports. I want to give T-Mobile some praise. And I'm going to tell you something. As I get into some things that are important, I want people to just Google the National Black Wall Street Project.com and give that some praise. It talks about opportunities that are happening all over the country and in Congress right now studying reparations. And President Joe Biden just needs to sign it the same way he signed the crime bill when Bill Clinton was president. They didn't put it through a committee. All they got to do is sign it. You know, you can even use the same pen, President Biden. Without the black vote, President Biden would not be president today. And he knows that. But he did issue Executive Order 13985. He just can't seem to find enough black Americans who are championing the way they champion about sports. And that's why I'm asking our black brethren who've been made wealthy through sports, don't be afraid to at least pay homage to our ancestry. Black lives matter. That's one thing. People say, all lives matter. All lives do matter, but not all lives were made slaves in the United States of America. There, how's that, Mr. Fong? Not all lives were made slaves in the United States of America. And so, in racism on the back of NFL end zones, that's a good start. And I think the NBA is trying to passively do things because they've changed the play-in tournament. They have different color floors for the NBA to run up and down and play with the balls. And I'm going to talk about some famous, well-known players today, and they've already got their reparations. You know why? I'm going to explain that to you as I get in to Big C Sports Podcast, and I want to talk about it. A Freedman's Bank. Everyone Google. I have a homework assignment. It's for every person that thinks about money when you go to the bank. When you go to the bank, I want you to think about this. It's called Freedman's Bank. F-R-E-E-D-M-E-N-S. Bank. Freedman's Bank. Oh, they're out of business now. But Freedman's Bank, chartered by the United States Congress in March of 1865 to provide a safe place for former slaves to safely store their money. After several successful years in which Freedman deposited more than $57 million in the bank, it collapsed in 1874. All of their board of directors were white people. The need for a bank for freed blacks became evident during the American Civil War and the African American soldiers in the Union Army that helped the Union defeat the KKK and the Southern Confederates in the Civil War. African American soldiers in the Union Army were often denied access to conventional banks, were often taken advantage of by swindlers and squandered pay as they received as soldiers. It became clear to some sympathetic military officers, as well as advocates for civil rights, that African Americans needed a bank to ensure that their money was safe from the white banks that would steal their money. John W. Alvord, a congressional minister, and Anson M. Sperry, a United States Army paymaster, individually identified that need and attempted to foster the creation of such an institution in early 1865. Alford's efforts culminated in the legislation passed by Congress on March 3rd that incorporated the Freedman Savings and Trust Company as a nonprofit institution. Be that as it may, a board of 50 white trustees was named to manage the bank, and they stole the money! And Congress never restored and repaid those black citizens. Now I'm going to tell you something today that it may rub some people the wrong way, but that's okay too. I'm going to talk about something that just came out. We've all heard of Forbes magazine. And Forbes magazine, it chronicles some professional athletes that have become billionaires. their money in these banks. Now think about these black billionaires that became billionaires, and they put their money in banks and other financial institutions where it's insured. But our ancestry, the Freedman Bank, that money was stolen by white people. And Congress did not come back and make the money good. And now we have people that put their money in institutions and other financial safety nets to keep it safe. And I'm just asking some of our black brethren, and I know they do their own thing in private, but think about how much praise we've given them, buying their shoes, buying their jerseys, buying their tickets. And it's not a criticism what I'm going to say. I'm just asking for some direction, because anyone can criticize. Alexander O'Neill said, all you want to do is criticize. I'm not trying to criticize. I'm asking for advice myself. In fact, I'm trying to hire over 1,000 real estate brokers in the next 12 months to help create business loans. Items needed to qualify: 4-month bank statements, $5,000 minimum monthly revenue, 6 months in business, specialized in unsecured working capital, up to $5 million, no collateral, early payoff discounts, and can fund within 24 hours. Call 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624, and give us some praise. Now, I'm so proud of a lot of men who've taken the opportunities given that were created, and they made lots of money off of it. Magic Johnson, he's a billionaire. Congratulations, Irvin Magic Johnson, for joining the elite club of Michael Jordan. Congratulations, Michael Jordan. LeBron James, congratulations, LeBron James. And Tiger Woods, we want to give them praise. They worked hard at their craft. They worked very hard at their craft. NBA Hall of Famer Irvin Magic Johnson is a billionaire, according to new reporting by Forbes magazine, and becoming only the 4th professional athlete to reach the benchmark following a lucrative post-basketball career as an investor in professional sports teams, movie theaters, Starbucks cafes, and a health insurance provider. I want to give Magic Johnson some praise. The only thing I'm missing when I read this Forbes article, our beautiful, intelligent black men, they don't say anything about what President Abraham Lincoln did that made it even possible for us to have our freedom. And when he offered 40 acres and a mule, I don't hear anybody saying anything about it. I'm sure they do behind closed doors. And I just want to know what I can learn from people like Magic Johnson and people that helped him. He retired from the NBA in 1991, and he owns a minority stake in the NFL's Washington Commanders, following billionaire Josh Harris, over a $6 billion purchase of the team in May. 64 years old, he also owns stakes in a trio of Los Angeles professional sports franchises, including the WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks, Major League Baseball's Los Angeles Dodgers, and Major League Soccer LAFC. I want to give that praise. Forbes now estimate Magic Johnson's net worth to be at $1.2 billion. As a result of his stakes in those teams and major investments and a slate of industries, including 60% stake in Iowa-based life insurance company Equitrust, he purchased in 2015. The brother's smart. Give that some praise. I think it was Ida B. Wells became the first black millionaire in the United States selling life insurance. And Big C Sports is affiliated with companies in the insurance industry that are having nationwide contracts. So I'm trying to bring in 1,000 real estate brokers and insurance brokers in the next 12 months. Now, Equitrust makes up the largest portion of Johnson's personal net worth. Since he purchased, the Iowa-based assets have skyrocketed from $16 billion to $26 billion, with an annual revenue of roughly $2.6 billion. You got to give that some praise. Now, there's nothing, I'm proud of what he's been able to do. Because what Magic Johnson's done over the past 3 decades, Magic Johnson has launched a chain of movie theaters in partnership, setting up theaters in predominantly black neighborhoods in major cities across the country, including Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston, and New York City. He's also began a 50-50 venture with Starbucks to open cafes in black neighborhoods. He's a 12-time NBA All-Star, owns a minority stake in PepsiCo bottling plant outside of Washington, D.C. He purchased a $60 million deal with investor Earl Graves in 1990. So the roadmap has been set for black Americans becoming billionaires. I want to give that praise. And he started with sports. I think it was Michigan State with Magic Johnson, and I want to say Indiana State with Larry Bird back in the late 70s that started having NBA basketball air on primetime television. So think about this. The LA Lakers, they chose Magic Johnson as the first overall pick in the 1979 NBA draft after he led the Michigan State Spartans to the NCAA championship, defeating his rival Larry Bird at Indiana State. And then he played his entire professional career for the LA Lakers, called Showtime. He and Kareem and James Worthy, some good old boys, Byron Scott, Jamal Wilkes, a 3-time MVP and 3-time NBA Finals MVP as part of a dominant 1980s Lakers team that won 5 championships between 1980 and 1988. I think Magic's the only player that I'm aware of that played every position in an NBA Finals game. But think about something that would be so great in the world of black America. If we get our billionaire black men, there's nothing to be afraid of. No one's going to live forever. But what if we could do what happened in South Africa when the whole world was trying to end apartheid in South Africa? They disinvested, or they divested in South African companies. And they ended apartheid as far as we know. Now think about this. Magic Johnson is only the 4th professional athlete that Forbes has identified as a billionaire. He follows NBA legends Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Michael's made a fortune for himself. Played college basketball at North Carolina back in the 80s, early 80s. And when you think about LeBron James as well, King James, the NBA's all-time scoring leader, every time LeBron James makes a basket, they give him praise because he keeps stretching the scoring leader. He keeps stretching the record. And then, as well as golfer Tiger Woods, who went to college at Stanford. And then Magic Johnson's income comes primarily off the court. He made more since he retired than he made when he played. I think he signed a $25 million contract when he was playing. He didn't play 25 years, but that was a contract, I believe, with the Lakers. But he's made a total of $40 million from his Lakers career, roughly $110 million after adjusted for inflation. Well short of the $479 million that King James has earned since joining the league in 2003 out of Akron St. Mary St. Vincent High School in Ohio. And think about that. That's a big number. $136 million. That's how much soccer great Cristiano Ronaldo earned, both on and off the field, between May of 2022 and May of 2023, making him the world's highest paid athlete, according to Forbes. And I'm sure they don't have to talk about reparations because they already got it. But with their influence to sell products, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And I know they do their own philanthropy. And I'm proud of them for doing that. But imagine if we got people like Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Michael Jordan to join hands with Representative Sheila Jackson Lee and the 171 members of Congress and the Senate that are standing behind reparations. That's more important than selling me some more shoes. I got too many shoes! it'd be great to get the advice of these men because they've made it. But we as a society, we tend to blame, and probably rightly so, the white laws that were created through Jim Crow and, of course, slavery that made sure that black Americans could never catch up. And when the United States Congress gave the Homestead Act over 276 million acres of land to only white people, they made sure that black Americans couldn't catch up. We shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday. But how do you overcome when the Congress that created Freedmen's Bank for free black Americans, they put 50 white board of directors in charge of it, not any black ones, and they stole the money? And Congress never insured it. And then people say that Forbes releases an article of only about, 4 black men that are quote-unquote billionaires based on sports and their business acumen? And not one of them, from Magic Johnson to LeBron James to Michael Jordan to Tiger Woods, will even do what the associate. I can talk because I'm talking the fact. It was the Associated Press when they wanted to do an article on reparations now, reparations forever. They didn't interview Magic Johnson, who's a billionaire. Congratulations. They didn't interview LeBron James, who's a billionaire. Congratulations. They didn't interview Tiger Woods. Congratulations, you're a billionaire. They didn't interview Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. They didn't interview Michael Jordan. They interviewed Charlton Curry. Give Charlton Curry some praise. They called it Big C Sports. You can Google the article because I'm asking those gentlemen for some help. Not in the terms of money. Yeah, you want to give me some money, I'll take the money. But I'm asking you to help me do what the Associated Press acknowledged. Now, Big C Sports is not in Forbes magazine yet, but I will be. I've already asked God how, and it's going to happen. But in the meantime, if I could get these men who've already made it, don't be afraid. The Associated Press and also CBS News, they interviewed Charlton Curry of Big C Sports about reparations because that benefits the masses of black Americans. Just because that Magic Johnson's a billionaire, does that benefit the masses of black Americans? No. Because LeBron James is a billionaire, does that benefit the masses of black Americans? No. Because Michael Jordan is a billionaire, does that benefit the masses of black Americans? No. Because Tiger Woods is a billionaire, does that benefit the masses of black Americans? No. So why did God give me a platform that's not nearly as large as these other black men? Now, I know they talk about things in private, about how slavery was wrong. I'm sure they all agree that slavery was wrong. I'm sure Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Tiger Woods, they all agree that slavery was wrong. I'm sure they all agree that Jim Crow was wrong. I'm sure they all agree that somewhere in their family legacy, they have family members, whether it's from grandparents or great-grandparents, especially, or great-great-grandparents especially, that were born in slavery. And some, especially many of their parents or grandparents, were born in Jim Crow. And you know they went through hell just trying to breathe. just trying to breathe and pursue liberty and justice for all. Now, these beautiful, intelligent black men, I'm proud of them. But think about something. As successful as they are, if they set up and said that we want to support what President Abraham Lincoln signed when he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, the Emancipation Proclamation did not free slavery. It did not end slavery. The 13th Amendment ended slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation was issuing black Americans 40 acres and a mule. You know, like the Congress did for white people with the Homestead Act. If these, we're not going to live forever. Probably within the next 100 years, all of us are going to be gone. And no matter how much money you have, you can't take it with you. You can only leave it to your beneficiaries. You know, like the black Americans who had put their money in Freedman's Bank, they wanted to leave their monies to the beneficiaries also. But it was stolen! And Congress never reimbursed those black families. There were a few that kept petitioning, and they got some of their money back. But most of them didn't get anything. And I'm just asking these beautiful, intelligent black men who should be afraid of nothing. I mean, think about this. If you are afraid of white people telling you, don't you dare talk about reparations, isn't that a bad indictment against white people that you work for? If they tell you don't say anything about honoring your ancestry, shut up and dribble. That's what Laura Ingraham said. What kind of white people do you work for? Because in Congress, most of them are Caucasian. They're white people. And right now, as we're talking about Forbes magazine, those white people in Congress, they're trying to pass reparations for descendants of child slavery, just like they've done for our Jewish brethren. I want to give them praise. And we can't even find a black brethren to talk about it. Why is it okay to talk about it in our black households? Thanksgiving coming up, many people get together, and black Americans will discuss how sometimes they get treated like dirt by white people still. And they know it. There are white families that get together, and they'll talk about how whatever they're going through too. Not everybody's crooked. But the system of Jim Crow was crooked. The system of slavery was crooked. And I'm just asking our black brethren, they know about Freedman's Bank, and they made it to the top. But are they willing to do what Frederick Douglass did? He helped President Abraham Lincoln craft the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, why is it that Big C Sports was written up about by the Associated Press and CBS News about reparations? Give that some praise. Why didn't they go to Magic Johnson or LeBron James or Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods? Maybe they have. Wouldn't that be great if we had these men? If you're afraid that someone's going to turn on you, what a shame to have no courage. I got billions of dollars, but I don't have the courage. I hope I'm wrong. I just haven't seen them even talk about reparations. Not the way Frederick Douglass did. And what if they did? What if they were not afraid to talk about it? I mean, they do a lot of philanthropic work, and I want to give them praise for that. But they don't even have... You can't be afraid to look a white man in the eye and say, we should honor what President Abraham Lincoln did. Remember, President Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Remember he said that to black people? And predominantly black Americans voted for President Joe Biden. He did sign Executive Order 13985, talking about investing in the black community, and he's willing to study reparations. They're not willing to study for Jewish brethren anymore, descendants of Holocaust. They're already getting their money. As you're breathing, those studies are over. They still want to study when it comes to black Americans. But black has no standing, according to the Noir codes in court, so it has to be descendants of chattel slavery. And we can't even get some of our more well-known, wealthy black athletes to stand in line and have the Associated Press call them and ask their thoughts on reparations. I think all of them would say, yes, black Americans deserve reparations. I just can't find anywhere where they wrote about it, where it's written about it. And they got billions of dollars. They're celebrated by Forbes magazine. You would think they would have that. I'm hoping, and I know it's going to happen because around the dinner table, people are going to talk about it more and more. NBA's highest paid players in 2023, LeBron James and Stephen Curry. Steph Curry for three! Bang! 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 Steph Curry for three. I love his game. He got the same last name. He has more money than I have right now. But I didn't see where the Associated Press did an article on Stephen Curry about his thoughts on reparations for descendants of child slavery. That hits more than his bank account. Now, he does a great job of philanthropy. I know some things that he's done. But I'm just asking, can some of these guys at least help? The league's skyrocketing salary cap means more superstars could follow soon. NBA offseason, Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, among the big names on the move. Steph Curry remain rooted in Golden State, but the Warriors guard will still be charting new territory financially. He enters the second season of a 4-year, $215 million contract that he signed in 2021, and I want to give him some praise. That's a lot of money. 35 years old, he's due to make about $52 million on the court in the 2023-24 season, becoming the first player to crack the $50 million salary threshold. And you look at his off-the-court income includes endorsements, licensing, appearances, memorabilia, and the 4-time NBA champion will haul in an estimated $102 million before taxes and agents' fees. That lands them only behind Los Angeles forward LeBron James on Forbes' 2023 list of the highest-paid basketball players. Give them all praise! Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing when they start saying that their bank account's already full? Thanks to an estimated $70 million off the court that King James holds, his earning crown for the 10th straight season, an estimated $117 million. He and Curry, I wish they were saying Charlton Curry. When I saw Curry worth what they say, Curry worth $1 billion, I started jumping up and down. My neighbor said, "Fool, why are you making so much noise?" I said, they said Curry's worth $100 million. And then I read the story. It said Stephen Curry. But he and Curry are the only two. Oh, I just had an epiphany. I told you Curry's worth $100 million. Curry, I think you start saying Curry in his city. Who is his first name? Curry and LeBron James are the only two active NBA players among the just 15 athletes across the sport who have reached 9 figures in a single year. Combined, the NBA's 10 highest players are set to earn an estimated $746 million. Remember Freeman's Bank, where the black Americans had the money stolen and Congress didn't even do anything to replace it, except for a few of them? I mean, it's a lot. They don't have to do anything. They've already gotten their reparations. But imagine if they were to join Big C Sports and telling Congress, because it's in Congress right now, the same way athletes sign a contract to get this money. Why would they be afraid to even stand behind Sheila Jackson Lee, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee? Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, she's a white lady. Sheila Jackson Lee is a black lady. California Senator Stephen Bradford, he's a black man. And they're championing reparations. President Biden said he put it to Congress. He didn't say no, but he didn't say yes yet. But imagine if these men, how much more money they'd make for the masses of black Americans. If they champion reparations now, reparations forever, and get that some praise. And I'm asking them for their advice. You can't say you're afraid that some white person is going to be anti-you, because what side are you on? Like Frederick Douglass said with Abraham Lincoln, are you with the Union or the Southern Confederates? Choose a side. Let others say I'm so afraid I can't even talk about it. I don't want to lose my money. I don't want to lose my sponsorship. You're not going to lose anything. You got white people championing for reparations, but they can't find black men to stand up. Even black men with $1 billion. Buy my shoes. Come to my games. Buy my uniforms. Give me praise. What would it mean for the masses of black Americans if very wealthy black men in sports in Hollywood were to just support when President Biden, I told you, 00, she sent me Executive Order 13985. That's Joe Biden, President Joe Biden. He signed that executive order on his first day in office. And it's about rebuilding the black community. And now he's telling Congress he's willing to let Congress study reparations. I know they already given it to our Jewish brethren, descendants of Holocaust heirs. So it's not a dirty word. There should be no enmity to anyone who wants to study reparations. And I know it's going to happen in 2024. California's already pledging between $1 million and $3 million to each black American from California. But I know this is just the iceberg of what's happening, and I'm proud of those men, and I'm asking them to teach me and teach other men and women of color what it's like to control $1 billion. But you can't take it to the grave. And if it's treated like Freedman's Bank, they're going to try to take the money from you somehow, some way. I mean, a lot of them have 7702 plans where they're not taxed. They're going to live off the interest. That's what O.J. Simpson had when he was going through his trouble. They couldn't touch that money. And we should not be afraid to champion reparations. We just shouldn't. And I'm going to reach out to these beautiful, intelligent black men and then ask what it would take. So I want to just go down the list. This came from Forbes magazine. Highest paid NBA players in 2023 as President Joe Biden is considering reparations for descendants of child slavery. LeBron James, $117+ million. And he's topped the Forbes annual earnings leaderboard. Number 2, I'm going to say this because I want to manifest it. Number 2 is Curry. Over $102 million. Like LeBron James, Curry has a booming media business. Maybe Curry would be on Big C Sports. In fact, Comcast Sports before COVID outbreak, they were lining up commercial with Stephen Curry talking with Big C Sports about basketball. I'm impressed with these men. Kevin Durant, over $91 million. Isn't that something? Giannis Antetokounmpo, over $85 million. This isn't 1 year, people. Damian Lillard, over $64 million. Klay Thompson, over $61 million. Joel Embiid, over $57 million. James Harden, over $57 million. Jimmy Butler, over $55 million. Paul George, over $54 million. Isn't that something? Nikola Jokic, over $54 million. I want to give those men some praise, but it would be great if they could just honor what Frederick Douglass helped do. He created the Emancipation Proclamation. They don't have to do anything. It's just a thought. I'm one beautiful, intelligent black man, and I want to give myself praise because I'm asking for their guidance and leadership. I mean, I know how to champion it. And there are 9 black athletes, as I close today's show, 9 black athletes who integrated professional sports. It was after World War II with racial barriers in sports. They slowly began to drop. Jackie Robinson was not the only athlete on the front lines of these changes. So when our current day billionaire athletes say that they're so proud of what Jackie Robinson did, Jackie Robinson tried to make it possible for people to cross over the racial barriers. Jackie Robinson started at first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947. That ended a 6-decade ban on black players in Major League Baseball because white society did not allow it until they realized that they could make billions with black athletes. So when people say, well, I don't want to talk about anything pro-black. If I talk about anything pro-black, then people may not listen to me. Before integration, you didn't hear about athletes making $1 billion. When the leagues were all white, you didn't hear about athletes making $10 million. Since the integration of the black athlete, we can talk about Jackie Robinson. Now in 2023, you have black Americans making billions of dollars. Give that praise. So there's no anecdotal evidence that talking about money for black Americans is going to cost you your career. The only reason black Americans are playing sports in these white-owned leagues is because white people can make money off of us. From 1934 to 1945, the National Football League owners, they made an informal pact to not sign black players to any of the league's teams. In 1946, less than a year after Branch Rickey signed Jackie Robinson to play for the Dodgers, their farm team, the Los Angeles Rams, signed 2 players, Kenny Washington and Woody Strode. The move came after pressure from black journalists, and the Los Angeles Coliseum Commission, which controlled the team's lease at the LA Coliseum. I'm going to talk more about this because it's so powerful. And so for our black brethren that say, well, as some people tell me, well, Curry, I can't talk about money because I might lose my contract. There's no anecdotal evidence for that. Because since the integration of black athletes, these white leagues have made more money. Integration has not caused the white ownership to lose money. It's caused them to make more money. So there's talk of we can't talk about reparations, Curry. We can't do that because it might cost us money. There's no anecdotal evidence anywhere that says black Americans talking about their concerns is going to cost them money. Oh, what about Colin Kaepernick, Curry? What about Colin Kaepernick? Colin Kaepernick, the reason people turned on him, they've all been proven to be liars. He took a knee to pay homage to a military serviceman that said it'd be more respectful. But the white media got a hold of it. But those days are over. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee, there was no end racism on the end zones. There were no black billionaire sports athletes either. I'll close with this. A trio of black men integrated hardwoods of the National Basketball Association. In 1950, Chuck Cooper, a former star player at Duquesne University and a Harlem Globetrotter, became the first African American drafted into the NBA when the Boston Celtics took him as a 13th overall draft pick on May 24th, 1950. And the New York Knicks, you got to give that some praise. We talk about Jackie Robinson and paying homage to Jackie Robinson. And how we want liberty and justice for all. And I just told you these beautiful, intelligent black men that have become billionaires. Give that some praise. Because black men before them, they opened the door. Muhammad Ali, people say they love Muhammad Ali. He was a champion for civil rights. Muhammad Ali. And you got men with billions of dollars that they stand at a seminal moment, just like Jackie Robinson and Willie Strode. They stand at that same seminal moment because now we have a president in Joe Biden that says he wants Congress to study reparations for descendants of chattel slavery. The United Nations is behind it too. Georgetown already pledged $1 billion. We don't have to be quiet anymore. There are good people in this country that want to do the right thing. Let's do the right thing. And let's give the support. That's my story and I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you, don't be afraid. If you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. Because mothers against drunk drivers are mad. And fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. You can call Uber, call Lyft. You can walk it off. You can sleep it off. But don't let someone you love drink and drive. The life you say may be your own. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, you know what time it is. Back in the day, there's a man known by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, he said, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble. He said, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Ali said, I'm so pretty I can't possibly be beat, because every time I listen to Big C Sports, it makes me want to stand on my feet and give God some praise. And say reparations now, reparations forever. My beautiful mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. If you know anybody going through it, pick up the phone and call 911. Because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. And you know it's true. When people call the police, things change. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, now, as I reached out to our beautiful, intelligent black brethren, the same way the Associated Press reached out to Big C Sports and asked me my thoughts on reparations, I said reparations now, reparations forever. And I hope we can get LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and Tiger Woods to mention it. Because they're good people on our side that want to see it happen. These are not the days of Governor Wallace when he said, segregation now, segregation forever. Those days are over. You guys got a lot more money than I have. Have a louder voice. You got a bigger platform. As I always tell you, on every Big C Sports show, I thank you. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a super, fantastic day. And now we honor President Abraham Lincoln. And if I could just get Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tiger Woods, Steph Curry to join me in saying reparations now, reparations forever. What did President Abraham Lincoln say? He said, be not afraid. Reparations now, reparations forever. Say it the way you want your crowd to cheer. When you put in the hole, I hit the winning basket. Reparations now, reparations forever. I thank you. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a super fantastic day.